This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday the 24th day of April in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here is what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Elections Commission has completed and finalized its plan and order for the recount of the votes from the 2nd of March elections. The Commission is now awaiting word from the CARICOM Secretariat on the arrival of its high-level team so that it could set a start date for the recount. Once CARICOM indicates the arrival date for its team and the team gets underground, the start of the recount is set to take place soon after. The Elections Commission met today and completed that recount plan and the order that will be gazetted. A number of decisions were made during the finalization of those documents. Government-nominated Commissioner Vincent Alexander told reporters that a parallel arrangement will be in place for the recount, with the 10 workstations doing the recount at the same time. 3 of those workstations will be dealing with Region 4 votes, since Region 4 has the largest number of voters.
Have the parallel arrangement. So we have Region 4 and a number of other regions at the same time being counted parallel, so we can come to one conclusion. I think the conclusion was 3.
3 workstations.
Yes.
4 boxes from Region 4.
Yes.
And Mr. Alexander explained to reporters that the Commission is envisaging 12 days for the recount to be completed.
On the question of duration, again, we weren't finite. And what we decided was that we would start off with an anticipation of completion in 25 days, but that would be subject to review in the first week based on the pace of work, and then we have a finite time.
It was also decided at today's meeting that there will be no live streaming of the recount process, since that would be against the law. But it was decided that there will be periodical updates being broadcast. Additionally, the Commission has also rejected a suggestion for the Auditor General's office to be part of the recount exercise. Mr. Alexander said the Commission does not see a need for that. He said the Commission has been assured that the Secretariat will have all staffing arrangements in place for a smooth flow of the recount.
It was clearly articulated that live streaming in terms of putting those ballots up one by one in some stream to the public will not be done. In fact, Section 90 of the Elections Amendment Act forbids us to do that kind of live streaming. There will be some broadcasting periodical of the results, but the question of live streaming as originally anticipated has not been entertained.
Alexander also noted that at today's meeting there were 10 motions put forward by the opposition-nominated commissioners, but only one of those motions was accepted and partially passed by the Commission. The other 9 were rejected since many of them brought up issues that were previously addressed by the Commission. Opposition-nominated Commissioner Says Gunaraj sought to explain his decision of drafting 10 motions to be presented to the Commission today. He said the motions were supported by the opposition-nominated commissioners.
I drafted 10 motions that deal with the outstanding matters, and if you will, I will crave your indulgence to go through them, not the preamble and all of that, but the issues which they touch and concern, and I will tell you what the rulings are on these motions. I should start out by saying that most, if not all of these motions were opposed by the other 3 members of the Commission.
This week marks 7 weeks since Guyanese went to the polls to vote for a government. The wait for results has been just as long. More news coming up in a moment.
Parents and guardians, you are encouraged to tune in to the Guyana Learning Channel, Cable 29 or Channel 42 for daily educational and interactive learning sessions. The nursery program airs from 6 hours to 9 hours. Primary programs from 9 hours to 12 noon. We also air informative documentaries from 12 noon to 13 hours, and our secondary level programs are aired from 13 hours to 15 hours. Please continue to listen to our radio broadcasts. The interactive radio instruction for grades 1 to 3 daily on Voice of Guyana from 9 hours 30 to 10 hours for grade 1 pupils, from 10 hours 30 to 11 hours for grade 2s, and 13 hours to 13 hours 30 for grade 3 pupils. Please remember to tune in to benefit from these educational opportunities. A message from the Ministry of Education.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Anyone who believes he or she was exposed to coronavirus COVID-19 must stay at home and not mix with other family members. This quarantine is to help stop the spread of the virus at home and in our communities. While at home for 14 days or 2 weeks, here are some valuable tips you must follow. First, get a separate room which family members will not be allowed to enter during those 14 days of quarantine. Ensure this room allows you to get lots of fresh air. Second, if you must meet family members, stay at least 1 meter or 3 feet away from them. Third, when it comes to personal hygiene, other members of the household should use a separate bathroom. If you must share a bathroom, ensure you always clean the taps, doorknobs, and all utensils with soap and running water. Fourth, limit the number of visitors to your home. Anyone in quarantine must not meet and greet any visitor. Fifth, practice frequent hand washing with soap and running water. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds every time. If there are no soap and running water, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 75% alcohol. Sixth, always avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Seventh, after using face masks or gloves, always throw them away. Put them in bins with covers. Remember also to always use separate plates, drinking glasses, cups, and other eating utensils, towels, bedding, and other items for the family member who is in quarantine. And don't forget to use detergents every time to wash all utensils, bed linen, and clothes used by the person in quarantine. Please remember to use the thermometer, not the back of your hands, to monitor the body temperature of the quarantined family member. Monitor them 2 times every day. Be sure to write down the temperature. If he or she develops a fever or temperature above 37.5 degrees Celsius or 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit, cough or has difficulty breathing, sore throat, body aches and pain, immediately call the COVID-19 hotline by dialing 180 or 181. Protect yourself and others. Play your part in helping to reduce the risk of contracting or spreading COVID-19. This is a message from the Ministry of Public Health in collaboration with PAHO WHO. For more information, kindly visit the Ministry's website www.health.gov.gy or its Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter pages.
Welcome back. The Public Health Minister Valdo Lawrence this afternoon confirmed an 8th death in Guyana as a result of the coronavirus. According to the Department of Public Information, the deceased person has been identified as 45-year-old Lennox Williams. He passed away at just about 2:45 this afternoon at a Georgetown hospital in the COVID-19 intensive care unit. There are reports tonight that he suffered from other complications. The ministry said the government of Guyana and the Public Health Department, as well as the Georgetown Hospital, would like to extend sympathy to the family and the relatives of Mr. Williams. Turning now to the coronavirus pandemic, as the Public Health Ministry steps up its efforts to get more tests for the coronavirus completed, several mobile units for the taking of samples for testing will go into operation from Monday. During her daily update today, Public Health Minister Valda Lawrence revealed that there are now 73 confirmed cases of the coronavirus recorded in Guyana, with a total of 410 tests completed. With the World Health Organization warning that the virus could be around for a long time, the Public Health Ministry will be putting additional testing measures in place across the country.
As of Monday, 27th April 2020, in Georgetown, the Ministry of Public Health will launch its mobile unit at the East La Penitence Health Center. On the east bank of Demerara at Herstelling, and on the east coast of Demerara at Paradise, our COVID-19 health facilities will begin to provide services to persons along those corridors. These operations will take place between the hours from 9 a.m. through 3 p.m.
The Public Health Minister said her ministry is also partnering with private health institutions to provide medical supplies for sample collection for inpatients and outpatients who may present signs or symptoms of the coronavirus. Additionally, there will also be more screening of health workers across the country.
We will also be screening our frontline workers, health and non-health, both public and private, across the 10 administrative regions.
Meanwhile, it was also announced today that additional arrangements are being employed to address persons who test positive for the coronavirus and may be facing additional health issues at the same time. It was explained that there are persons who have tested positive for COVID-19 who need to have other medical procedures, such as pregnant mothers who need to deliver, persons needing emergency surgeries, dialysis, malaria, and other conditions that require hospitalization.
At all times, we must remember that COVID-19 is a highly infectious disease. In light of all this, my fellow Guyanese, you need to be brave. And please do come forward and let us help you. As these units are put in place, I urge you to make use of this opportunity. Utilize our services and help us to flatten the curve and contain this disease. One infection and even one death is one too many. Because 7 deaths out of 73 cases represent 9.6%, which is still much higher than the death rate of COVID-19 presented by the World Health Organization that stands at 2 to 4%.
Guyana has recorded 6 new cases of the coronavirus within the past 2 days. With a total of 73 confirmed cases, health officials remain concerned as they point out that the death rate is too high. 12 persons have made full recovery so far, and others are expected to be given the all-clear soon. Still, public health officials are encouraging citizens not to take the virus lightly and to ensure they practice all safety guidelines. Well, let's tell you now that persons who have been diagnosed with diabetes are being warned this evening about contracting the coronavirus. The president of the Diabetic Association of Guyana, Glennis Beaton, in a statement today said she's deeply concerned about the reality that persons suffering from diabetes are at risk of contracting the most complicated form of the coronavirus and possibly facing death.
As a diabetic, 30 plus years, I am deeply concerned after learning that the coronavirus disease affects persons like myself and you out there. We are at higher risk of developing the most complicated form of this disease and even dying. From my knowledge and personal experience, many diabetics have a weakened immune system, which makes us prone to contracting many other diseases, including COVID-19.
Health officials have been warning some of the most at-risk groups about the coronavirus and the reality they could face if they contract the virus. The Diabetic Association of Guyana is encouraging persons who have been diagnosed with diabetes to completely stay home.
So what can we do as a diabetic patient to protect ourselves from contracting this coronavirus disease? The guidelines are simple, and it will help us to protect us. Stay home, stay home, stay at home. Take your medication and follow your meal plans. Wear a mask. If you feel ill, seek urgent medical consultation.
Guyana has recorded 73 cases of the coronavirus, with 8 deaths. There are reports this evening that the Public Service Ministry will host a virtual meeting tomorrow with Guyanese students in Cuba who have expressed concern about the situation in Cuba and the desire to come home at this time as the world deals with the coronavirus pandemic. While some of the students want to come home, many others have indicated that they plan to stay. But a number of universities in Cuba have suspended classes in wake of the coronavirus pandemic, and Cuba has also put a number of measures and systems in place to guard against the spread of the virus on the island. Earlier this week, the Public Service Department was forced to address the issue after some of the students, through their parents, dispatched letters to the media complaining about the situation in Cuba. In response, the department indicated that support hampers will be sent for the students from the government, with additional supplies from their parents. But news source has since learned that the Cuban embassy here in Guyana is upset with some of the complaints from the students and the way some of them have painted the situation in Cuba. There are reports this evening that the Cuban embassy is contemplating having the students return to Guyana and bringing an end to their Cuban scholarships. Those reports may have triggered tomorrow's meeting between officials of the Public Service Department and the students in Cuba. Well, in a strange move today, the Private Sector Commission, which is an accredited local observer group for the elections, dispatched proposals of its own to the Guyana Elections Commission for the recount process. In a letter to the GCOM chairperson, PSC Chairman Captain Jerry Gavaya said it is imperative that a recount of votes is seen as credible and concluded in the shortest possible time. A few weeks ago, the same PSC only wanted the Commission to do a recount of the Region 4 votes. Gavaya and the PSC are now recommending that GCOM begins the recount in the regions where recounts were first requested, before moving on to the other 6 regions. The Guyana Elections Commission has already said a recount will be done in all 10 regions. With a number of proposals that mirror those put forward by the People's Progressive Party, the Private Sector Commission said it wants the recount to be televised and live-streamed on national TV. But the Commission decided against that today. The PSC also said it wants all contesting parties to be represented in the recount and accommodated in a manner which facilitates their own recording and monitoring of the recount at each of the established stations. Additionally, the private sector body said it wants all of the accredited international and domestic observers to be allowed to be represented at all times at the stations established for the recount. Additionally, the Private Sector Commission also wants GCOM to exclude the Deputy Chief Elections Officer and the Returning Officer for Region 4 from the recount process, claiming that the two have violated legal procedures. Gavaya wants the recommendations from the Private Sector Commission to be placed before the Commission for its consideration. The Guyana Elections Commission over the past few days has been finalizing the order for the recount, and that order was finalized this afternoon.
Wondering how you can access free learning materials for your children? Parents and guardians, please visit the Ministry of Education's website at www.education.gov.gy to access textbooks, past papers, and practice tests to keep your child engaged in continuous learning. When you have accessed the site, go to the Students tab, wait for a second, and choose the appropriate option. You now have access to the resources you need. You are encouraged to take advantage of this opportunity as we strive to provide the best education for the nation's children. A message from the Ministry of Education.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013, with over $10 billion Guyana invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000 barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps, which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
A face mask only works if it is put on, used, and removed properly. Before putting on a face mask, please do remember to wash your hands with adequate soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Or use a hand sanitizer with 60% or more alcohol. This is an N95 face mask. Check your mask for holes and tears. Identify the top of the mask. Cup the mask in the palm of your hand with the metal strip at your fingertips and the elastic bands hanging loosely. Position the mask under your chin and covering your nose. Place the lower strap behind your neck. It must touch your neck. Place the upper strap to the top of your head. Untwist the straps. Use both hands to mold the shape of the nose piece by pushing downward and outward. Perform a fit check by checking the mask to see if there are any air leaks. Do not lower your mask to speak. You must not touch the front of your mask. If you do, then wash your hands immediately. When removing the face mask, remove the bottom elastic from behind, then the top elastic, ensuring that the elastic straps do not snap. Once again, do not touch the front of the mask. Throw the mask away in a bin with cover. Do not forget to wash your hands immediately. Remember, if your mask gets damp, replace it.
Across the region right now, the Parliament in Barbados has decided to extend the state of public health emergency until the 30th of June in the island. The announcement was made today by Acting Prime Minister of Barbados, Santi Bradshaw. Bradshaw said the government is acting on the advice of medical practitioners, particularly the Ministry of Health, as they continue to secure the safety of Barbadians. The Acting Prime Minister said the dynamics in relation to the virus have changed over the last few weeks, adding that the government has to respond to the medical evidence. During her presentation, she also announced that there was one new case of the coronavirus in Barbados, which would bring the total count to 77 in the island. So far, 6 persons in Barbados have died as a result of the coronavirus. In Jamaica, the Ministry of Health and Wellness there is actively conducting sampling and testing of its employees for the coronavirus. The move comes as 7 of the ministry's staff members have tested positive for the coronavirus. The Minister of Health and Wellness in Jamaica, Dr. Christopher Tufton, said that more than 100 additional samples were collected from staff members this week as part of the exercise to have them tested. He noted that contact tracing is being done to determine the level of exposure, adding that counseling for staff members has started and will continue as necessary in Jamaica. And finally tonight, international news. The U.S. death toll has surpassed 50,000, according to data from the Johns Hopkins University, in what is the world's deadliest COVID-19 outbreak. More than 3,000 deaths came in the last 24 hours, and there are now over 870,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus across the United States. But the U.S. still has a lower mortality rate than most European nations, based on current case counts, as the White House task force has emphasized. The grim news comes as parts of the U.S. reopen after weeks of lockdown. Some hair salons, bowling alleys, and other businesses are opening today in Georgia, Alaska, and Oklahoma. The U.S. has by far the highest death toll and the case count in the world. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.